All right, guys, today we are talking about the Saucony Freedom 3. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I am Ben with Run Slow to Run Fast. Today we're talking about the Saucony Freedom 3, a shoe that has been on my radar for a while, and I was able to pick it up recently. I've got over 100 miles in this shoe now and wanted to give you some of my impressions of the shoe. This shoe can really be used for a lot of different things. I've used it from everything from my easy daily runs, some speed workouts, and even my long runs in this shoe. So I wanted to tell you where I think it fits best and how it will best suit you for your running needs. So to start off, just to give you some of the stats on this shoe, the shoe has a FormFit upper, which is very comfortable. It's really easy to get a good lockdown. I've heard some people complaining about the laces, that they didn't like them. They kind of felt funny. To me, I really like the laces. I think they work really well. They're very soft, and you can tighten them down really well and get just the fit that you need. But it is a FormFit 360 upper that is very comfortable. It's very similar to the Saucony Triumph 17, which I also ran in and liked. I actually bought this shoe because I wanted a toned down version of that shoe for some of my daily runs and feel that this does a pretty good job with that. So you've got, a lot of the same materials in the heel, the same padding, that sort of stuff. So it all works really well together there. You do have some support in the heel here. You can see it has a support frame. So it is a little bit more rigid heel. It's not as loose and not as free as you might see in some other shoes. I know one of the shoes that I recently ran in was the PWRUN 4.5 plush, and that one did not have as much heel structure. So this one has a more rigid heel cup that is going to lock you in your heel a little bit better. Obviously, one of the things that is most appealing about the shoe is that it does have the PWRUN Plus. So the PWRUN Plus is a great, very responsive and bouncy foam that they use for the sole of this shoe. On the bottom, you've got crystal rubber, and then also you've got some more dense and hard plastic in there as well. Saucony does try to add a little bit of stability. They call it a hint of stability. So you'll see that here just on the inside of the forefoot, that you've got a little bit of extra stability there, just to help you on your longer runs, for instance, just to make sure that your form is tight. So the shoe does have a 4mm drop. You've got 27.5 millimeters of stack height in the heel and 23.5 in the forefoot. So that gives you that 4mm drop. Pretty low by some standards. For weight, the Saucony Freedom comes in at 8.4 ounces for a men's standard size, which I believe is a size 9, and for women it's a 7.8 ounces, which I believe in women's is a size 8. I'll put the grams down in the description if you care about that, you prefer the metric breakdown. As far as the colorways for the shoe, the colorways, I think that they're very boring, to be honest with you. They've got a few different colors. I think they have just a standard black and white. They have an orangish color, and then they have a blue one. So I don't think that those are very exciting, especially when you compare it to some of the other colorways for their other lines of shoes, like the Endorphin, or some of the other ones they come out with, like the Visipro, which is really cool, really neon type colors. I think they come out with a lot of cool different colorways, but those just are not offered in the Freedom 3. This shoe that I have, the Freedom 3 here in this colorway, is actually one that comes from jackrabbit.com, which is an online running shoe company, and they partner with a lot of local small running stores. But they have a shoe where they've done a collaboration with Saucony to come up with this Jackrabbit colorway. So I liked this one a little bit more. So let's talk about what I think this shoe is best used for. I've used it from everything from my speed workouts all the way to some of those slow slogs, my long runs. I've used it up to 18 miles so far. So I think I have a pretty good idea of how it fits into a running lineup if you have multiple pairs of shoes, or if you're thinking about having the shoe as just your single daily training shoe, what it is best for. So it certainly is designed to be a daily trainer, more of a responsive type. That's why you have that PWRUN Plus in there, because it is a little bit more responsive. I was actually a little bit surprised by this shoe because I loved the PWRUN Plus in my Triumph 17 so much that I wanted more of that. And the Freedom 3 was one of the shoes that offered that in the daily trainer. So I picked up this shoe and I was a little bit disappointed in that, just because it doesn't have quite as much foam underneath. As I talked about, you've got 23.5 millimeters in the forefoot. So not a ton. You do get a little bit of cushion there, but you don't have that soft feel that you might in some of the, daily trainers with more cushioning in them. So I was a little bit disappointed in that. It does work well for some of my speed runs. I actually have found that, when I pick up the pace a little bit, that PWRUN Plus really is responsive, and I really enjoy that about this shoe. But for some of my longer runs, I don't feel like it's really designed for that, and it doesn't really work well for longer runs. So for me, once I start to get up around that 10-mile mark, that's where it really starts to you really start to tell the difference in this shoe. Is you start to feel the ground a little bit more. My feet get a little bit more achy, so I don't feel like it's really designed for some of those long runs that I've been using it for. There are some other shoes in the Saucony lineup that might be better for some of those longer runs, and that might be the Ride 13, for instance, is a shoe that has a little bit more stack height. There is a little bit more drop in the shoe, which kind of turned me off from that shoe. So that is one of the main differences with that, the Ride 13, but that one does have a little bit more stack height and may be designed for more of a cushioned daily trainer, whereas this is going to be more of your responsive daily trainer. So one of the things that I do want to mention about this shoe that I think is a little bit of a turnoff for me and probably some people in purchasing this shoe is that it is $150 retail, which for this shoe I think is way overpriced, to be honest with you. I would expect to pay something more on the lines of $110, $120 for the shoe. I think $150 is just way overkill for this type of shoe personally. They've got a lot of other shoes that I think are really great that I think are more worth that $150 price point. I just do not think that this is one of them. That being said, it dropped just a couple of days ago, but they have started releasing some photos and actually sending some shoes out of the new Saucony Freedom 4. So I know Running Warehouse, for instance, has one, and they've got a review up about that shoe. So that'll be really exciting. There's some big changes that have come to that shoe, which I think make it more worth that price point at $150. The main one being is they have switched out the PWRUN Plus, and they've put in the PWRUN PB in this. So really doubling down on the responsive daily trainer of this shoe to really make it be more of that responsive. So the PWRUN PB that I mentioned, that's one that they put in like their endorphin speed and some of their faster shoes. So it is a little bit better rubber that is designed to be more responsive. So I think that's a good move to give this a little bit different positioning for this shoe. I think the PWRUN Plus, at least what is in this shoe, just isn't cutting it, and hopefully that PWRUN PB can really do that. Additionally, they've completely redesigned the upper as well, so I'll put an image of that shoe here in this review so that you can see it, but I think what that will happen, as Saucony typically does when they come out with new shoes, or at least start to introduce new shoes, is that this one will go on sale. So if this one goes down to around the $100 price point, I think this is a good pickup if you're looking for more of that responsive daily trainer type shoe. There are some sales on some of their other shoes right now too, like the Kinvara 11 I think is $80 right now, and some other shoes because they're getting ready to release some of their spring shoes. So now is a good time to pick up some shoes from Saucony. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to view this. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you hit that subscribe button, it really helps me out a lot. It really helps support the channel. I try to make videos every few weeks. I haven't been as good around the holidays with so much family stuff going on, but I will be more diligent in getting you information and reviews of shoes, as well as some of my adventures and some of my goals for 2021. So hope everyone is having a great time getting out there on the roads and the trails, and that your running goals are set for 2021. Hope you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for watching. Remember, run slow to run fast, and we will see you on the next one.